Hi everybody. So today I'm going to do a short makeup tutorial today. So the first thing I did was I went on and primed my face. And the next thing I'm going to do is prime my eyes with a Wet n Wild photo focus. And then on top of that, I also used e.l.f. Cosmetics for both colors to diffuse the whiteness. And then I did my eyebrows with Almay. And then I actually set my eyebrows with the gel. So the palette I'm going to be using today is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Amrezy palette. Just haven't been too long come out. And the first thing color I'm going to use is like this orangey color, and that's going to be my transition color right above my crease. And I'm actually working it in windshield wiper motions and trying to build up that color. And you don't want too much on your brush, you just want to like gradually build it up. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to use that pink color, and that is going to be my crease color. And you kind of got to be careful with this because it's a very intense pink. So you got to gradually build this up as well. And I'm just doing windshield wiper motions to gradually build it up in my crease. And you see how intense that is? It's a beautiful, beautiful pink. Um, so I'm still working that color in. And then I'm going to use a fluffier brush to kind of like uh, diffuse the harsh edges. And I actually got that brush from out of my Ipsy bag. I'm just going to go ahead and diffuse that color a little bit with that fluffier brush. Just work out the harsh edges. And I'm going back in with that other brush and then kind of building up that color again. Windshield wiper motions, since that's all you need to build in that color. You see how intense that pink is when you keep working it in. You don't have to go too harsh when you're first building in that color. So I'm going to use a more denser brush to go ahead and work in that color a little bit more into that crease. And I had to pick up my mirror to look into that. Look how beautiful that palette is. It's like a pinkish bubblegum color with glitter. It's a beautiful palette. Um, might do another tutorial on that same palette one day. It has a lot of pressed glitters in it, so you got to be careful with that pressed glitter. You got to pretty much know what you're doing to work with pressed glitter. So I'm going in with that darker pinkish color, and that is going all over my lid. And with that same Anastasia Beverly Hills brush, I'm going to use the flatter side or the eyeshadow brush side of that brush. And I'm just patting it into my lid. And look how intense that pink is. It's so beautiful. I'm going to clean up my, I'm going to clean it up a little bit. And as you can see, I'm doing that. I'm cleaning up my eyeshadow and my crease. So I'm doing the other eye with the lid on that pink, darker pink color. Such a beautiful color. I'm just patting it in. And I noticed, like, with some of these shadows, when you're wiping it, it actually, you get a lot of fallout. So patting motions, you don't get as much fallout. So I'm going back in it with that other pink for my crease color, just to intensify that crease a little bit. So I'm using that fluffier brush, it's a fairer brush, and I'm going in with that to smooth out the harsh edges of that eyeshadow. And you want to make sure you blend really well when you're doing these eyeshadows, because you can see when someone doesn't blend their eyeshadow too well. And you'll learn to do this over time. So I'm using a makeup wipe to wipe the fallout out, or the fallout underneath my eyes rather. And it actually kind of does it like an edge look with the white. So this is hard candy glitter stay. So like I said, this is you use this for pressed powders. It actually adheres to the glitter stay. So I'm just putting that over top of that pinkish color, because I'm going to use a pressed shadow, glitter shadow, over top of that pink. And then, like I said, it's in the same palette. So I'm going to use that pressed glitter. And my technique with pressed glitters, I use my fingers, because it seems like it's easier to get on when you're using your fingers. And I'm just patting it on. I'm not rubbing, because it will fall everywhere, all over your face. And glitter is just it's just something you have to work with. So I'm doing the other eye, and I'm using my pinky because it's much easier, because it's your smallest finger, and then also your ring finger, because it's your finger that you really use to tug your eye, because it's most gentle to your eye. So I'm just working it in over top of that glitter stay, and I'm not putting it all over the lid. I'm putting like maybe in the middle. It's more so like a halo look that I'm going for. I still want that other pink to show through that I used over my lid at first. So I'm using my brush to kind of blend everything together and clean it up. Using my white to clean up the fallout. So now I'm going to be using my liquid liner. And I had to get my hand right. I'm sorry, guys. So the best way to start off your liquid liner is to start on the outside first. Just to, make you aware. So you're going to line, pull a line, drag a line out on the outside, and then take the liner and come in with it. And that's the most easiest way to do it. And then you're going to like gradually go over top of your lid with that liner. And you kind of got to just take your time. You can't be too fast with your liner, especially with a liquid liner. And I kind of cleaned it up with that makeup white. And then I'm going in inside with the liner and just taking my time. And you can drag that line out a little more. You go as high as you want, and then you can go in. There we go. It's much easier this way. You just have to have a steady hand. So I got both of my eyes lined. And then I'm just wiping out the fallout again. So I'm going to be putting foundation, and this is the L'Oreal foundation in Cocoa Infallible. And a little goes a long way with this. And I'm just dotting it all over my face. This is one of the best store-bought foundations that I've used thus far. And it blends well. It's medium coverage. It's not full coverage, but I love medium coverage. It looks a little bit more natural to me. And so I'm using my brush to work that in my skin, my chin and neck, over my nose, around my mouth. And I have a lot of hyperpigmentation around my the mouth area, so I gotta make sure that I work it in really well around that area. And all on my forehead and underneath my eyes. Gotta make sure you work that in really good. Then I'm gonna set that with Kat Von D, and this is the translucent powder. And this is really, I love this stuff. And it doesn't make your face look cakey. I've seen some translucent powders that make your face like look really cakey, and this is pretty good. I mean, this is just as good as Laura Mercier. This is pretty decent. So I dumped a little bit in the lid, and then I picked it up on my brush, and I'm just patting it in my skin. And this works well for me. I do not bake. I just don't have time to bake sometimes. Or not even sometimes, I don't bake at all. So this worked well for me, and it has my makeup staying all day. So I'm going over my nose and all over my face. So I'm going to use setting spray. Got this out of my Ipsy bag. I'm just spraying that all over my face. Then mascara, and this is by Thrive. This is the lash extension, and it actually pulls my lashes pretty well. I'm not the one for falsies, so this, I mean, it works pretty well to me. And as you can see, you see how my lashes are getting extended from this mascara. This is a great mascara. Great mascara. And I'm just making sure that I'm coating all my lashes. I do not like my lashes sticking together, so I just make sure they're not sticking together. And this is the finished look. And I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thanks for watching.